Vermont. I have very little recollection of going to school anywhere, but not happy recollections. Primarily because we spoke Spanish, and in those days there was no such thing as bilingual education or special ed. You just, everybody was whatever you were. You were thrown in together. I do recall that in 4th grade, when we started our settling into the Boulder area, we were going to school out at, it was called Fairview. It's now that City on the Hill school on 63rd or 65th in Arapahoe.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that little school was a two-room school with a full basement. And that's really my earliest recollection, other than just bits and pieces of here and there, because we did attend several schools throughout the year. We might start in the San Luis Valley and end up to 2, 3, 4 different schools before we finally got through the year. When it finally caught up with us here in the Boulder County, I used to have a lot of headaches. And oftentimes the teacher would take me home in the middle of the day because it just couldn't function. I think what it was attempting to get this whole language thing together. Anyway, she, then towards the end of the school year, she took me home, and she and my mother had a conversation. And at the dinner table, my mother was sharing with us that they had come to the conclusion that my younger brother, and I were not retarded. They truly believed it was just a language thing, because we deciphered numbers and time very, very well. But, obviously numbers don't have distinction like words do in English and Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was some speculation that you were retarded, and
obviously, obviously the connection from the school, the feedback, had been something to that effect. I never saw him,
but they realized it's just a language barrier.
Right.
Wow. What year were you born?
I was born in 1934.
Okay. And going back to you don't have very fond memories of early school days because you spoke Spanish, and how many other Spanish speakers were there?
Us.
That you guys were the only ones?
Us. That's all I remember. I actually remember bits and pieces of maybe some of my cousins, Uncle Joe's daughter, Louise. So we must have been working kind of in the same general area, and taking our lunch and eating outside by ourselves. My brothers, myself, and that little girl.
A cousin?
Yeah. But I don't have any recollection of passing the day in school. I know that we went. I remember walking it to school because, whether it was cold or snowy or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of a mishmash of some over there in the valley and some here. So I really don't have any recollection of my school days until here. Then from this country school going into Casey Junior High, and finally at 9th grade just not being able to cope at all. Because it was interesting when I was doing is I had lots of language skills in Spanish.
Yeah.
But I could not transfer them to English, and that's what I was doing, and English became so, so heavy, so much of it that I just couldn't track with it. And our principal, well, like I say, schools in general were not too sympathetic towards anybody different. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And so I quit. I quit school at 15, lied about my age, and went to work at Cress's.
Cress's? What's Cress's?
Cress's used to be like a 5 and dime store, like let's see, like a watered down version of Walmart or Kmart or whatever, that kind of thing.
Like a general store?
Yeah.
And it was...
Except that they didn't sell food, other than candy maybe, and Woolworth had the fountain.
Yeah.
Ice cream stuff. Crest didn't.
How do you spell Cress?
Kress.
Kress.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in
Boulder.
Lafayette? Oh, in Boulder.
Yeah, in Boulder. We had both Woolworths and Crest.